Hey everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the 5 MCQs a day ARD static series. Right, so today the chapter that we are going to cover is cropping pattern and cropping system. All right, so I hope you all are good. So in this particular series, that is for ARD static, we are covering the syllabus of both NABARD grade A and IBPS AFO examination. We'll look at that what kind of questions are asked in NABARD as well as what is asked in AFO examination, right? So let's get started. But yes, before that, do tell me if everything is audible and visible to you all. Right. So, and yes, to our new audience, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can also join our Telegram channel to get the PDF of every lecture that we provide on YouTube. So, and yes, currently we are offering 40% plus additional 10% off on all our courses that you can see here in the screen. And to avail this particular offer, you have to use the code weekend, and this particular code, it is valid till 21st of November 2021. So do not miss this particular opportunity, right? So yeah, let's start with the session that was about cropping pattern and cropping system. So the first question, it is growing two or more crops arranged in alternate rows is called. See what I have done here, because this is a small chapter, so I have tried to incorporate everything in this particular series, in this today's session only. How? By incorporating everything in the options, right? So it would be easier for that. Okay, so Yuvashri says audible, right? Yes. So welcome to the session and tell the correct answer of this. Right. So the correct answer of this particular question, it is strip intercropping. Okay. So we'll study everything of all the options also so that you have better clarity. See, we start with row intercropping. All right. So in row intercropping, as the name suggests, basically the plants, they are sown in rows, as you can see over here only, right? But in strip intercropping, you're looking at that this is maize, this is soybean, this is oats. Okay. So in this case also the same thing is happening, which was in row intercropping. The difference is that in intercropping, only one line it is sown at a single time. So you can see the alternate lines, right? So the alternate lines here, as you can see, in case of strip intercropping, what happens? You can see this maize section. It is quite a broad strip, right? So there's not only one line of maize, but there is a particular bunch of maize that is there, right? Along with that, as you can see, soybean also same with it. So it's a strip, right? So the only difference between row intercropping and strip intercropping, it is that in row intercropping only one line, alternate line is there, while in case of strip cropping, more than one line is there, right? So yeah, here alternate rows is called, see here the answer, it is, yeah, see here answer, it is basically, it should be here row intercropping, not strip intercropping, right? Why? Because I've already told you the difference between the both. All right, so this is a human error that has happened here. I hope you understand now more clearly, right? So this is intercropping and strip cropping. Next we're coming with the mixed intercropping. So what happens in this, as the name suggests, that the plants or the different varieties or different not trees, but yes, plants, they are intermixed together. Here there is no definite rows, right? So here you can see these plants, they are different plants, right? And then these, they are different plants. So basically what happens when two or more plants, they are sown intermixed together without any definite pattern, that is known as what? That is known as mixed intercropping, right? Next is relay. So what happens, you must have participated or you must have seen relay races in your school, right? Or college during sports annual meets, right? So what happens in that, in relay intercropping here in agriculture, when one crop, it is at the stage of maturity, at that time another crop is sown, right? So what happens when this particular one crop here, in this case it is wheat, when now it is going to reach maturity, then you grow something else. And then what happens when you harvest this, now this particular second plant or the second plant of the second cycle that you have sown, now that reaches a good at a good stage, right? Now what happens, it will mature. So basically this is what relay intercropping, what does it mean? When one crop it is at the verge of maturity, you sow the seeds of the second crop, so that there is a particular cycle, continuous cycle that goes on, right? Hi Pratik, good afternoon. So this was about question number 1, and then there is one more term which is mixed, which we have. This is companion intercropping. All right. So what happens basically? What is companion? Companion is someone who is with you, right? So what does companion mean? So basically, see, this especially happens in the case of such plants who take much time to grow. So here, if I give example of sugarcane, all right. So this is sugarcane. There are different varieties which grow at different, which have different maturity level, but more or less sugarcanes they at least take 1 year to harvest, right? So that is quite a long time. Some take 18 months, right? So basically the space between them, it is utilized to grow something else, to cultivate something else. Why? So that the farmer, he can get profit from this area by cultivating any crop. So the best example could be sugarcane and thoria. So this particular method, it is known as what? Companion intercropping, where the need to utilize a land to get some profit, it is known as that. Okay. Abhishek and Pratik, I'll reply to your answer in the end, right? So first we'll cover all the questions for today, but I'll definitely answer you, don't worry. Next is question number 2. It asks, when the seeds of succeeding crops are sown broadcast in maturing rice crop, it is known as, right? So here the question says, when the seeds of succeeding, what is succeeding crop? That comes afterwards, right? So seed of the next crop are sown broadcast. It is the method of randomly sowing the seeds, right? That is the broadcasting method in maturing rice crop. So when rice crop, it is at the verge of maturity, and now what happens? Now you have already broadcasted the seeds of the succeeding crop. It is known as what? So AM, he says para, Arun says all. All right, Arun says all. So the correct answer to this is yes, that is all of the above. The reason why I incorporated this question, so that you have a better understanding of this concept. See, relay cropping we have just done in the previous one, right? So you know about it. But this para and Nutera, these are the synonyms of relay cropping only, right? So you should know that even if in option, if it is not relay that has been mentioned, but if para is there or Euthera is there, you should know that all three means the same thing, right? So I hope this is clear to you all. Right, so now AM, Rajiv, Pratik, Yuvashri, no, but yes, apart from him, everyone, they are saying the right answer. And yes, of course, the NABARD notification has been out on 3rd. You can fill the form from 3rd November to 23rd November. So we are offering 2 courses here. One course is for those people who want to set up base, even though they are from agriculture background, but they want to set up their base more better. For them, we have a course of detailed videos and notes and summary sheets and worksheets and quizzes of every chapter for better understanding of the concept. Then we have month-wise agriculture current affair magazine. See, in your NABARD, AFO phase 2, current affair is not asked, but when you'll move ahead, if you clear phase 2 and then you move ahead with the interview, in that you're definitely going to be asked questions on that, right? So that is why you should be aware of these only. And then important schemes that are related to agriculture, they are also asked in phase 2 of the examination, and here we are going to help you with that. And we also, in this particular course, we also have a phase 2 test series in which we have 30 full length mock test and then 25 sectional test for better understanding. Coming to, if you feel like your base is clear, you just need revision, for that we have another course in which we are providing 25 full length mock test and 30 sectional test with the detailed PDF explanation of all of the tests that are in that particular course, right? So both the courses, they are valid till 31st March 2022. It's a great opportunity, and to avail 15% off on this offer, you can use the code early15. I hope that is clear to you all right? So next is question number 3. I'll answer all the questions at the end of the session. So do remain with us for the questions right first. So the question, it says, which of the following cropping system helps to restore nitrogen in the soil, right? So you have to tell me the different cropping system. See, this chapter, it is basically about the different cropping system, and we are covering everything from the options itself. So that is the only one lecture I'll take on this particular topic, right? So this is so you have to tell me what is the answer of that. Okay. Arun says it's A. and AM also says it's legume based, right? So yes, the correct answer to this is legume based cropping system only. Sachin also says A, and he is also correct, right? So see, basically what happens when it is yeah, Pratik, Dinesh, Sachin, yeah, everybody is saying right. Rajiv also. So see what happens. Legume crops, they are in Hindi they are known as dal, right? You must have heard red gram, green gram, everything, right? Pigeon pea. Those are the legume. So what happens? It's their property of these legume crops that they restore nitrogen. They actually they fix nitrogen from the air, from the if this is a plant, this is a leguminous plant, they will fix the nitrogen that is present in the air into the soil, right, with the help of the roots, right? So basically, so this leguminous based cropping system, it helps to store nitrogen. So sometimes it can happen that this cropping system is not mentioned, but examples are given. For example, if alfalfa is given, it is a leguminous based crop, it is a legume, right? If green gram is given, so do not get confused. Sometimes they can ask directly, sometimes they can give examples as well, but you should be aware that all leguminous crops, they have this tendency to fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, right? And what is this? We are studying, see, we are looking at rice based cropping system, maize based. So this is nothing but where the major crop is, that is mentioned at the start of the option, that if, see, in case of rice based cropping system, rice, it is a major crop, and then there is some alternate crop that we are also growing along with it, that is a rice based. Then in maize based, maize is the prominent crop. In root based cropping system, it is basically the tubers, for example potato, cassava, everything that comes under root based cropping system. All right, so this is the concept of these cropping system that you should know. And yes, Abhishek Kumar, rhizobium bacteria that are present in the nodules of these roots, they help to fix this, right? Now coming to question number 4, it says which of the following is growing a fresh crop from the stubbles or the suckers of the plant crop without replanting? What does it mean? You have to tell me that which cropping it is where the new crop, it emerges from the pre-existing crop. Why? How do you know that? What is this? It says from the stubble. What is stubble? Whenever you when you harvest any crop, so whatever, if you harvest the grains, so whatever is left, that is known as stubble, right? Or the suckers of the plants without replanting, means you are not again planting. Here re means again, right? So without replanting means you are not again planting it. But then you have to tell me what is the method. So here Arun says all, Abhishek says C, Ratun, Sachin says C, Gaurav says D, it's mixture, Bishwanath says C, Nilesh, it's a confusion between C, D, but yes, the correct answer here is option number D. That is all of the above. And the reason why I added this particular question is for the better understanding, because if for once this option C is not there and stubble or reharvesting is there, you can answer it, right? All are synonym, you can use it alternatively. Ratoon cropping are most of the people that are aware of it. See, basically what happens, sugarcane is the best example of it. In fact, even rice, it can also be used as a stubble crop or a ratoon crop. But what happens, because every time this regeneration happens, the nutrient quality, they degrades, and that is why it is usually just preferred in sugarcane, but for some year only, for some time only, but and not in other. So what happens in this, basically in such plants, they are cut from the base, right? Then what happens, the plant, it regenerates and it grows again. So this is known as what? Ratoon cropping. And it can also be known as reharvesting. What does it mean? Re means again. So you are again harvesting a plant which you have already harvested, right? So that is reharvesting. Then it is stubble cropping. It can also be used. Why? Because I just told you what is stubble, whatever is remained, right? So when you cut the plant, this is the stubble of it that remained there, and from this new plant has emerged, and this is known as what? This is known as reharvesting or stubble cropping or ratoon cropping. I hope this concept is clear to you all. If you are confused, do ask me. I'll clear your doubts regarding this particular concept, right? So I hope this is clear. Now we'll move ahead with question number 5. It asks, who two or more crops of different heights are sown simultaneously on a piece of land is called. When two or more crops that are of different heights, they are sown together, this is known as what? You have to tell me, right? So I'm waiting for the answers. So yeah, the correct answer over here Neelkant, for the previous question, for question number 4, I've already told you sugarcane, it is the best example, but then you can also go for rice, right? But sugarcane, that is the basic example or the common example. Banana can also be the example of ratoon cropping, right? So mostly we go for sugarcane, banana, these are the most common examples that we give, right? Arun, he says C, that is multi-level, and then Biswanath says D, AM says C and D both, Arun says D, Arun again says D, right? Yeah, so everybody is correct. Yes, the correct answer is C and D, both C and D. That is, it is the correct answer. So these are again the synonyms. Why I have incorporated such, so that you have a better understanding of the topics. If one is not asked in examination, if one can, you can't see in the examination, at least you can go by the answer by knowing the second term that is used, right? So this is multi-level cropping or multi-storied. Both mean same. Multi-story means you must have heard of multi-storied buildings, right? So there are many floors that are there, that is known as multi-storied building. Similarly, in this particular type of cropping system, many plants that are of different heights and different growing season, they are sown together, so that, see, for example, in this case, if you can see, they do not have to fight for sunlight, right? Because everybody, they would have a different height, they would have a different space of them for the nutrients, right? Similarly, according to the plant, their roots would also differ, right? So they would not have to fight for the nutrients or other sources that are needed to survive, right? So this is a condition that is known as what? That is known as multi-storied cropping or multi-level cropping. All right, so yeah, so that is question number 5 that we have now. Yeah, so that is the homework session for you now. Now you have to tell me, see, lay farming, it is also a kind of cropping pattern or cropping system that is followed here in India, right? Not in India, but yes, everywhere else. But you have to tell me, you have to comment down that what is lay farming. I'll definitely tell every other students about the toppers who attempted that questions. And here we have the toppers of the last session, right? So we have Akash Verma, we have Yuvashri, we have same Baruthi Sundar. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, right? I'm sorry for that. But yes, so that is all for today. What I'll do, I'll take 1 or 2 questions that are that can be in general questions for everyone. Is there any course for agriculture engineering optional for UPSC? See, UPSC, I don't have much idea about it. Maybe there is, right? We are focusing here in NABARD and AFO. So I am not the right person to tell you about that. Then, ma'am, 2 questions came in NABARD 2021 phase 1 on cropping pattern. Yes, from this time onward, NABARD has definitely changed its pattern, and some surprising, from forestry they have asked, from cropping pattern they have asked. So you cannot just skip anything when it comes to giving both NABARD and AFO. In fact, I'll take one session also in which I'll tell you how 4 questions from NABARD were directly in AFO also, right? So it is like that, because in any agriculture examination, see, topics, they are important. There are certain topics that are important in a particular subject. Here in our case it is agriculture, which can be asked in any examination, right? So I'll take one session on that also. But yes, ma'am, आपकी class every day's time होती हैं क्या? So see, Rajiv, my classes for this ARD sessions, they are Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 2:30. This is for ARD static. I have different classes, right? So for ARD static, it is Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 2:30, right? So this is the schedule for that. And then do we have any other question? I guess, ma'am, every day is time pay. Okay, I have already answered. Ma'am, is it right time for NABARD 22? Yes, of course, every moment is the right time to prepare, right? So, see, you are lucky that if you start right now, you're definitely ahead of many other students. So, of course, it is the right time to prepare. Ma'am, is it helpful for state PSC forest exam? See, I haven't analyzed the pattern of state PSC, so I really cannot say. But yes, one thing that I was just telling you about the similarities between NABARD and AFO, because in every subject there are some important topics that can be asked in any examination, and that would happen between NABARD and AFO also, and I'll definitely take a session on that one. But yes, these topics are in general important, but then these sessions which I am taking, they are specifically from NABARD and AFO point of view. So you should check the syllabus if you want to continue with the sessions. But this will give you in general information about your agriculture background. All right. Yeah, Pratik, that's good that your phase 2 was really good. We really hope that it went well and you appear for the interview and you make it to the final list. But yes, until unless you don't make it to the merit list, you just keep on preparing. All right. So yes, that is all for today. Thank you everyone for joining with us, and yeah, that's all. All the best for your examination.